All right. Welcome to your yoga practice. We want to regulate our breathing to warm the body, loosen up the body, and then use the postures to move energy, move our stuckness, explore our range of motion, release tension that gets stored up in our habits and patterns, to quiet our mind, and we actually use the mind itself as a focusing tool to help that whole synergistic process of mental focus, regulated breathing, and then the expression of uh, releasing the body and toning the body, the postures. Okay. And so when you breathe, you're going to think now about your lungs. Your lungs fill up your entire rib cage. Just take a moment, even touch your rib cage, the sides of your ribs, top of your rib cage, your chest. Put one hand on your upper back, maybe just reach on your upper back like that your ribs are back there too. They're underneath your shoulder blades, but they're there. Okay, and then you have your front ribs, right where your abdomen, top of your abdomen, your base ribs there. Okay, and your lung kind of fit really in that entire area, that entire chamber. So when you take a deep breath in, you should feel the lungs expanding on and against that rib cage. Just try that 2 times. You're going to inhale. You can feel the breath expanding the lungs out, up, down, around, everywhere. Okay, your lungs are like two sacks that hang from the throat here and are filling up the ribcage. Now, not just the lungs also fill down, and the downward pressure pushes the diaphragm down and expands the abdominals so that the organs have somewhere else to go. So again, long, slow breath in and out through your nose. And you're expanding. And then on the exhale, feel the whole thing sort of contract, compress, and squeeze in to expel the air up and out. Okay, a couple rounds. Inhale. Feel the expansion in all directions. And then exhale, certainly up, in, compressing the air out. Inhale, breathing in deep, pushing down, out, and around in all directions. And then exhale, lifting up, pushing the air out as you squeeze and compress. Good. Now let's be specific. Let's just work on breathing down. And then exhale, work on exhaling up. Good. Now let's just work on inhaling into our back ribs. And then exhale, contract that area. But now let's inhale. Let's just work on breathing into our side ribs. And squeeze the side ribs in. Good. Let's just breathe into the front body and the chest. Exhale, chest collapses or sinks back. Let's lift up, breathe into the top, the dome, under the collarbones. You don't shrug your shoulders, you breathe and you lift up underneath your collarbones. It lifts your whole shoulder apparatus. Good. Everyone's posture got better. That means something went well. Exhale, let it sink back down. Great mental awareness. Let's do breaths in all those zones again. Breathe down. So you're pushing the diaphragm down. And all of this is kind of happening in all the breaths. We're just making specific focus. Exhale. Breathe into the back ribs. Exhale. Mental acuity required here. Breathe into the side ribs, breathing outward. Exhale. Breathe into the front ribs and chest. Exhale. Breathe under the collarbones, lifting up. Some should improve your posture. Good, 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 good. Interlock your fingers, stretch them up to the sky. Twist your spine to your left. Breathe here. Notice the expansion is much different when we put this twist in it. Feel the breath going into the lungs. Let's go the other side, twist the other side. Back to center, hands down. You're gonna put the hands back behind you a little bit, either on your seat that you're sitting on or fingertips on the floor. You're gonna kind of push against that and squeeze your shoulder blades against your back. Take another breath, a rising breath up into the tops of the lungs. Good. Now you're going to interlock your fingers. You're going to push them straight forward and sink your ribs back, sink your low back back, and you're going to breathe into your back body. Place your hands on your knees and pull the ribs forward. Arc or arch the low back in and up. Breathe here into the front ribs and chest. And then exhale, interlock those fingers again, push them forward, sink your rib cage back, your low back back, and breathe into your back ribs. Good, place your hands on your knees, bring your rib cage forward, arch your spine, inhale into the front, chest, ribs, and even the throat can rise and feel some breath happening there. And sit back again. Take a breath here. Good. Come forward. You're going to take a circular motion with your rib cage and breathe into the side ribs. So circulate your ribs to your right side. So you've opened up the right side. Take a breath. Go ahead, circulate your ribs over to the left side. Go ahead, take a breath. One more time, circulate over to the first side. This amount of breathing should already start to be calming and invigorating at the same time. Circulate. Feeling the body warmed up just by breathing and some simple movement. Inhale. Exhale. Good. You're going to turn your palms to face away from you. Palms face away from you. You're going to lift your hand up. And so you're opening up your left side ribs. And it's like you're trying to push the ceiling up. Feel some resistance. Feel some resistance as you push up on the ceiling. And breathe into the side ribs there. Good. Let's place that hand down. Invert the palm. Push up. Like there's an imaginary wall there. You're trying to lift it up. Breathe into that side rib. Good. Coming back to center. Let's just do 2 more times. We're just going to go back with the spine and forward with the spine. Back with the ribs. Forward with the ribs. Do it 2 more times. Now add the breath to it. Good work. We're going to go ahead and place our hands to the front of our mat, untwist the legs, and step back to tabletop posture. Blocks. Don't forget your blocks, everybody. Gotta have yoga blocks. Start to breathe in your tabletop. Good. Step your right foot back, get the whole foot on the ground so you turn your foot out. Now breathe down into the diaphragm. Push the belly down and out as you breathe deep into the lungs. Good. Go ahead, put that right leg back, step the left foot back, or just whatever your other side is. Turn the toes out, opening up that side hip, side waistline a little bit. Breathe down into the abdomen. And feel the breath. The breath goes into the low lungs push down on the diaphragm. Good, step it back. You're gonna step wide. You're gonna take your right leg, you're gonna step it out to the side, off the edge of your mat. Get an inner thigh stretch. Breathe here. Deep. Sending the breath down into the lungs, down to the diaphragm. Good, step it back. We're gonna step the other leg wide. Get an inner thigh stretch. Breathe down low into the diaphragm. Good, bring that leg back to center. You're gonna take your right leg, you're gonna send it straight back. Listen carefully, send your right leg straight back and then step it across, crisscross. Step it across to the opposite side. So your right leg's back and then it goes left. So you've got that outer leg, outer hip stretch. Breathe into it. Even look with your gaze over the left side. Good, step it back. You're gonna step your left leg straight back. With the left leg straight back, step it across to the right and then gaze to the right. Make a nice crescent shape. Breathe here. Focus on that breath, moving your anatomy, loosening the body up. Good, let's come back to center. Good, let's just take a moment and shrug our shoulders and sink our spine so our shoulder blades are coming together on our back. We're hanging our chest in the shoulder girdle, making a lot of space there. Breathe here. Good. Step the right foot straight back, send the left hand straight forward, and then lift the left hand up as high as it'll go. You might have to turn your body to lift it all the way up. Keep stretching up through the fingertips, and then let's come back down. Send the left leg straight back. Send the right hand straight forward, and then nice and slow, lift it up as high as it'll go so it opens your shoulder. Good. Let's do that again. We're going to do the same side this time. So you're going to step the right leg back. Be careful. Right leg back, stay balanced. And then right hand forward. Much more challenging. Right hand forward and lift it up. You have to turn the foot down for your stability purposes. Stretching up, opening your chest because you're trying to get your fingertips as high as they'll go. Opening up that inner chest muscle there. Good, let's come back down and change sides. Left leg back, breathe, and then work the left hand forward and up as high as it'll go to its highest point. You might have to turn your body slightly and stretch open the chest. Good, back down. Put your hands on the blocks or on the floor in front of you. Keep your elbows off the ground and just sink your hips back. Head to the floor. Keep the hips back and try to walk your hands forward a little bit. Good. Go ahead, slink yourself all the way forward onto your belly, lying flat. We're going to come up on our elbows, so on our forearms, palms down. Go ahead and tuck your toes now Tuck your toes now. That means the pads of the toes are on the mat. And reach your heels back so your knees come off the mat. Good. Push your elbows down into the mat and then push like you're trying to slide them forward and peel your spine up into Sphinx pose. Breathe here. Good. Relax it back down. You can rest your head if you want, or just kind of slump your chest and head in your shoulders. Do the inverse this time. Point your toes so the toenails are on the ground and reach your toenails back away from you. Push your palms into the floor. Push your palms into the floor and try to pull the hands back. It's the opposite action of what we just did. Pull the hands back and rise up into Sphinx pose. So this is the opposite alignment cue, and notice the difference in the body. Good, relax it back down. Let's try that first, let's start each one more time and just see which pose, which variation feels better on your body today and helps your breathing. Tuck the toes, pads on the mat, push the elbows down and forward and rise up into Sphinx. Oh yeah, when you tuck your toes, lift your knees to reach back through your heel. This one feels a little better for me today, personally. Okay, point the toes, push the hands down, and drag, almost like try to pull the hands back and come up into Sphinx pose. Good. Walk, slide your hands all the way out in front until your arms are straight and your elbows are off the ground. Lower down so your lips, your nose are on the mat. And then we're going to lift our legs. Breathe. 3, 2, and 1. Keep the legs on the mat. Lift your arms. 3, 2, and 1. Lift the legs. 3, 2, and 1. Lift the arms. Straight elbows. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Just lean to your right side a moment and take your left knee up. Your left knee is going to come up about halfway on your mat. So it's like a G.I. Joe pose. It's 90 degrees from your torso. And then sort of let your left side come back down. Feel an inner thigh stretch. You can turn your head with the left knee up, turn your head to the right. If you need a little more in this stretch, you're going to extend your left arm out to the side and bring your right hand next to you and actually roll your right shoulder up. When you lift your right shoulder up, that'll put a little more pressure to open up the left hip. Good. Bring yourself back to neutral. Straight limbs. And then roll onto your left side. Let's go ahead and bring our right knee up 90 degrees. And then roll back flat on with your chest. This might be enough. You want to go a little deeper, you're going to bring your right arm out to the side. Bring your left hand back and push with the left hand to kind of roll your left shoulder up, opening up the stretch a little deeper. Good. Come back to center and tuck your toes. Let's press all the way back for a 5-breath downward facing dog. If you can, straighten your knees today and straighten your elbows. Breathe deep into the back of your ribs and breathe deep into the diaphragm. Good. Walk your feet forward and as wide as your yoga mat. And then walk the hands back a little bit. Bend your knees if that feels good to you. Push down through your tail and rise up. Good. Turn your head up and to your right. Extend your left arm out to the side. And gently pull your left hand back. You can turn the left thumb back a little more. Good. Come back to center. Turn your gaze up and to the left. Keep the shoulders square. Put the right arm out. And gently pull the arm back. Back to center. Good. Take the arms up and in a V shape, reaching out in the V shape. Good. Now bend your elbows down into cactus or field goal post arms. Look and be vigilant that your arms are straight above your elbows. Good. Now pull the arms back and lift up. Breathe to the top of your lungs. Good. Slide the hands down the legs and just gently fold over the hips, over the thighs. Inhale, come back up. Stretch your arms up in a V diagonal. Extend through your elbow and then bend the elbow. Pull them down like you're pressing down on a ledge. Push down. Pull back. Good. Then bring the hands down to the thighs and press against the thighs as you fold forward. Keep breathing, folks. Notice where the breath wants to go here. Send the breath to that spot. Notice where the breath wants to go. Send the breath to that spot. Good. One more round. Inhale, come up, V diagonal. Bend the elbows, cactus. Pull the shoulders back. Good. Hands go down the legs, pressing against the front of the thigh. And listen now. Where does the breath want to go? If you've got blocks, you're going to bring your hands all the way down to the blocks or maybe to the floor. And then go ahead and step your right foot straight back into your lunge. Push down through your feet. Squeeze your feet towards the midline, towards the center line of your mat. And now reach your crown forward, away from your back heel. Step forward and change legs. Send the left foot straight back with the left leg straight. Bend your front knee over your heel and reach your crown away from your back heel. Good. Step forward. Inhale, come all the way up. Reach up to the sky and bring your hands down to your heart. Good. Step your feet out wide so the toes cover the edge of your mat. Heels are turned slightly inward. We're going to bend our knees and drop low into a squat. Try to keep the feet on the ground, the heels on the ground for this squat today. Letting the pelvis come under you and letting the head hang. Good. Push down through your legs, lift up through your pelvis, and then let the rest of the spine kind of lift up with it. Excellent. Turn the palms to face out and gently pull the arms back behind you. Open the front of your spine, nice and gentle, sending the energy down the fronts of your palms. Good. Reverse it. Bring the hands around. Bend the knees out. You're going to rest your elbows on your knees and then hang your chest and head in the shoulders. So the shoulders are kind of like a mama cat holding its baby cub. Relax into your knees and hips. Just try to let the legs support the squat. The pelvis comes under a little bit. Good. Push down through your legs, lifting through the pelvis first, then the rest of the spine comes up with it. Turn the palms to face out or away and reach down the front of your hands as you open the spine. One more time. Rotate the palms away. Bend the knees. Looks good, everyone. Can you see how it's a counter of the range of motion here? Opening up the shoulder joint, internally rotating, and then opening up externally rotating. Hanging and sinking into your squat. Good. Push down. Rise up. Rotate them out. Reach down the front of the arm, the skin of the palm, as you lift up the front of the spine. Very nice, very nice. Putting the left foot in front. Go ahead and step the right leg back 45 degrees with that back foot. We're going to do our warrior one. Work a narrow stance today. If you can even have the feet in a line, do so, or just a little staggered, or anything that works for your balance is appropriate. Go ahead and bend your front knee out over your front heel. Push down through your back heel. And bring your belly muscles in and back. Send the hands forward and up. You can join the hands over your head. And then soften the inner shoulder blade. The shoulder blade next to your spine. Soften the inner shoulder blade down your back. Good. Turn the body open. You can step your back foot back another half foot or whatever and go into a warrior two. In warrior two, rotate your palms to face up. Feel the tops of the shoulder blades rotate back and down. Keep the tops of the shoulder blades rotating back and down. Pull the hands a little bit behind you, but then rotate the palm back down. Push out through your front knee, aiming for your pinky toe. Good. Go ahead, straighten your front leg and slide the left hand down the front leg any amount, nice and slow. Keep the right hand reaching back behind you to the back of your mat. Inhale, come back up. Bend your knees and step to the front of your mat. Hands in front of your heart. Let's bend our knees sitting down. Inhale, rise up. And relax the arms by your sides. Good. Go ahead, step your left foot straight back. You can be in a straight line with your legs today or just a little staggered. Planting the back heel down nice and firm. Go ahead and bend your front knee over your heel. Bring the belly muscles back as you push down through your back heel. Send the arms forward and up. Relax the inner shoulder blades down your back. Good, you can open the back foot back a little further if you'd like. Turn open warrior two. Rotate the palms to face up and take the tops of the shoulder blades back and down. Pull the hands back a little bit further and then re-rotate the palms down, warrior two. Good, straighten the front leg. Keep reaching back with your left hand as you slide the right hand down the leg, down the front leg. Breathe. Inhale, come back up. Bend your knees, step to the front of your mat, hands together in prayer. Push down through the feet and thigh bones. Inhale up, arms to the side. Bow forward down to the earth. Step the feet back to downward facing dog. Push the front knee forward. The left knee is going to come straight forward in the middle of your mat. Drop the back knee straight down behind. It's a narrow, narrow pigeon today. Narrow pigeon today. Press down through your shins and lift up through the front of your spine. Press down through your hands and open the throat. Breathe. Where does the breath want to go? You feel out the lungs. You feel how they work in the body. You can feel how different areas of the body can be breathed into. This pose, this opening of the pose, invites a particular type of breath. Use that. Breathe into the pose. Good. Drop your head, tuck your back toes, and let's press on back. Downward facing dog. Narrow pigeon today. Bring the front knee forward. Narrow pigeon today. Bring the back knee into the same line as the front knee. Walk it back. Narrow pigeon. Press down with the shins and press down with the hands and open the front of your spine. And now, as you feel into the shape, let the breath go. What part of the lungs want to be breathed into? Where can you expand and explore your anatomy? Good. Tuck the back toes. Step back, downward facing dog. feet forward. Push down through the legs. Inhale, rise up. Good, nice narrow stance. If you want, you can even step along the edge of your mat. You're gonna step your right foot back again. This time, both legs will be straight. If it's available, you're actually gonna walk the left foot across the midline. It's actually, you're crossing your legs, you're scissoring your legs, if possible, or close to it. If you can get your legs in a straight line, you're gonna turn your front foot just out slightly, okay? So that both feet are still flat on the ground. That looks right. Okay, now just gently start to bow forward. You don't have to go as far here because you should feel it in your outer hip. Only maybe a quarter of the way, you should start to feel the stretch in your outer hip. Support that. Be in that pose with legs straight. If you want to go further, you're welcome to bow all the way, hang the head, but really just trying to get the outer hips stretched. Good, inhale, back up, bend your knees and step out of your pose. Join the legs together, squeeze the legs together like you were holding a piece of paper between your knees, and bend your knees down deep. Good, rise back up. Go ahead and send your left leg back, narrow. Narrow stance today, even past narrow, right? Crisscrossed slightly in our pyramid. If you can crisscross, you will turn the right foot, the toes, out just slightly for balance and support. And then gently start to hinge at the hips. You might only go a quarter or halfway today because you're stretching the outer hip. That's what we're focusing on. You can take the pose deeper if you'd like. Don't lose the efficacy of why we're doing this variation today. Now back up. Go ahead, bend your knees and step it into a chair pose, sitting down deep into your chair. Inhale, rise up. Get long in your body. Press the heels down and get long in the back of your body. Put the weight in the balls of the foot. Get long in the front of your body. It's easier for my body to be long in the front. So I'm going to emphasize being long in the back. Just listen to your own body. Press the heels down and lengthen the back body. Press the balls of the foot down to lengthen the front body. And just take a moment to feel your own inner balance. As you look for that balance, now feel how the breath wants to behave in that balance. Good. Bow forward. Slide the hands down the legs. Step the feet back. Come to a plank pose. And then come down to your knees. And come down to your chest and chin. And then lie flat on the belly. Perch yourself up on your right forearm and bend your left leg. Let's go ahead and hold our left foot with our left hand. Gently pull down the leg, keeping the left knee on the ground today. Keeping the left knee on the ground today. Stretching the front of the thigh. Good. If it's available, you're gonna lift now. Lift the whole left side. Lift the whole left side and roll onto the side, pulling that foot back off the edge of the mat. Good. Come back to center. Crisscross. Bring the left arm across the front of your body. Bend and hold the right foot with the right hand. Keep the knee on the ground to start. And now go ahead and start to lift and rotate the right side up and over, kicking the foot back off the edge of the mat. Good. Back to center. Press up, cobra pose. Tuck your toes and lift your knees off the ground. So it can be an upward dog on the balls of the foot. Good. Downward facing dog. Practice an inverse of that pose we just worked on with a runner stretch. We never do runner stretch in this class. You're going to shift from on kneeling pose. You're going to take your left foot forward so the heel is on the ground and the toes are in the air. I'm going to put myself on blocks with my hands. You can put your fingers on the floor. I think the blocks work great. Pressing the back knee down. You might want to walk the back knee back or scoot the front heel forward. I think it's safer to walk the back knee back personally. Flex the front toes. Draw them back. And even try to tone your kneecaps so that the hamstring, you want to feel the stretch in the back of the thigh, not the back of your knee. You want to feel the stretch in the back of your thigh, the hamstring, not the back of your knee. Good. Walk the hands back any amount as though you're becoming upright in your pose. Keep the belly muscles in and back. Great. Keep the tone. We're going to bow out of the pose now, nice and slow. Bend your front knee and go ahead and step back. Downward facing dog. A few deep breaths. Coming back down to our kneeling shape. You're going to rock into your left knee and go ahead and bring your right leg forward so the heel is down. The heel is down. Before you sort of engage too much, you maybe think about how long does your stance want to be by scooting the left knee back. Scooting the left knee back. Okay, once the left knee is back, flex the front toes. Flex the front toes and draw the toes back to tone the kneecap. You should feel it in the hamstring, which is the back of your thigh, not the back of your knee. You can walk the blocks back or your fingers back until you're just more upright. It feels good to you. And you use that to hug the belly muscles back to tone the body. Good. Go ahead, bend both knees. Let's step that leg back. Let's do another downward facing dog for a couple breaths. And let's walk out of the posture. Inhale, come all the way up. Good. Have a quick sip of water before we go on for the next segment of our class. Great, welcome back. Next one, we're going to do a wide-legged stance with the outer feet parallel. Let's start today with our hands on our hips. And then tilt the hips over to the right, so your body tips to the left. So it's like a straight line from your head down through your right foot. Breathe here. Good, let's come back up. Let's just do that to the other side. Tilt the body over the right leg and send the hips towards the left. Good, back to center. We're gonna do the exact same pose, but come to the first side again. And now take the left hand and slide the left hand down the leg. Take the right hand and send it out and turn the palm up. As you turn the palm up, draw a line with your your right thumb and open your side chest this way. Inhale back up. Go ahead, tilt on over to your right. You can brace with your right hand against your right leg. You're going to extend your left arm out and then draw the thumb back to open the left chest. Be careful not to let the right shoulder pop forward too much, but really work on opening the chest that's going back. Inhale back up. Good. Bend your knees and scoot the heels into a horse stance. Take the left hand up like you're blocking the sun with your hand. So you see the back of your hand. Looking at the back of your hand, draw a rainbow with the top of your palm and open the left hand to the right. Breathe. Feel the lungs. How are they expanding in the ribs? Good, let's come back up. If you can, stay in the horse stance or give yourself a short break. Go ahead and block the sun on the right side. And then draw a rainbow with that right hand. Breathe and feel how the lungs expand in the rib cage. Inhale back up. Turn the heels back out, slightly wider than the pinky toes, and bow all the way forward. Carrying the spine here. We'll be here for several breaths. Try to bring the abdomen closer together and let the back body open up. Push down through your legs. Inhale, rise up. Good. Bend your knees. Let's step to the front of our mat. Let's practice an eagle pose today. You're going to take the block and put it next to your right foot. You're going to bend your knees and step your left knee onto your left foot onto the block, just the toe. So your knees are stacked on top of each other. Work on squeezing your knees past the midline. When you squeeze the knees past the midline, it should bring you lower in the pose. When you bring the knees past the midline, bring the belly muscles slightly back so the hips come under you a little bit. Can you feel all of that in one action? Knees come across, hips come under, belly muscles go back slightly. Let's do that 2 more times. Feel that energetic movement. Last round. You're balancing. You're using the foot to balance. You don't need to worry about balancing right now. It's not what we're working on. Good, and come out of that posture. You're going to scoot that block around to the other side so it's next to your left foot. You're going to bend the knees and step your right knee over so the toes are on the block. It's 3 things, but it's really one action. It's the 3 points of context, but it's one action. The knees go past each other, which brings you lower. And to bring you lower, you can feel the hips kind of come under you. And to bring the hips under you, the belly muscles come back into the body. Just try that a few times. Sink into that pose. Feel all those actions kind of support each other. It's very insulating. And then step out of the pose. Great. We're going to go back to that first side again. Move that block back over. You'll have a chance to do the full balancing version today, this round if you'd like. Just to do the arms in isolation, you're going to separate the arms. So we're on the left. Right, our right foot's going to be on the ground. So the left arm is going to come under. The left arm is going to be under. And you're going to squeeze your elbows past each other. By trying to squeeze your elbows past each other, notice how it brings the hands closer together. Please don't try to grab your hands. Don't do that. It's superficial. The real action is in the elbows trying to go past each other. And then it might just be natural for the hands to overlap. Palm against palm or palm against fingertips. Keep them low and against the body with the elbows right now. Opening up the back of your shoulder. Good, let's release that down. Let's just practice the other side and then we'll do the whole expression of the pose. So now you're going to bring your right elbow on the bottom, close to the body. And the act of bringing the elbows past each other, squeezing the elbows past each other, it brings the hands closer together. This side is much more unnatural for me. It's more difficult to get the palms to touch. So it's better for me just to work the physical action and open deeper in the shoulder. Otherwise, you're just kind of using your wrist and you actually inhibit the real efficacy of the pose. Feel those elbows trying to squeeze past each other, hooking them. Good, all right, unwind. All right, here we go. Here's the whole pose. You're gonna bend your right knee and you're gonna step your left knee over it, putting the toe on the block. The left knee is up, so the left elbow is under. And now all as one, elbows and knees squeeze past each other. Elbows and knees squeeze past each other, and this is our eagle posture. Sitting low today. Yes, beautiful. Now feel, where does the breath want to expand the lungs? How will it expand the lungs and your ribs in this shape? Keep breathing, keep in the engagement. You're almost there. Inhale, open up, spread the limbs. And relax your body. Great work today. Great work on that side. We're going to go to the other side and move on from our standing postures. So you're going to place the block next to the outer left foot. You're going to bend your left knee and hook the right knee on top of it. Toe can be on the block today. I'm doing it that way. You can choose balancing if you wish, but that's not really what we're working on today's class. It's not about balancing. It's about how our lungs expand as we put our body under different circumstances. Okay, we're going to squeeze the knees past each other as the right elbow is on the bottom, as the elbows go past each other. Elbows go past each other, knees go past each other, and that brings us low and down into our posture today. Breathe. Feel how the lungs are expanding in our ribs. Stay with it. Don't lose the focus. Inhale, open. Stretch your limbs. Very good. Let's roll out our wrists. Elbows straight. Let's roll out our ankles. Rotate the wrist the other way. Let's roll out the other ankle. Good. Flex the fingers. Like you're saying, stop. Grab the top of those fingers and gently draw them back, pushing out with the heel of your hand from the side view. Good. Release. Extend the other hand. Stop. In the name of love. Anybody? Grab the top over the top of the fingers and draw the fingers back, pushing out through the heel of the hand. And relax. Excellent work. Last one, we're just going to stretch the top of the hands. Hands out like you're laying them on a ledge. And then dip the fingers down, hang the hands. And so you're stretching the top of the forearm and the top of the back of the hand. Good. Let's lower on down. Let's come down to kneeling posture. You're going to sit on a block in our kneeling posture today. Putting the block between the heels. If you can comfortably sit all the way down on the floor, you can. With the feet separated, knees together. We're going to do some pranayama where we breathe into the organs here. Uh-oh. Get myself situated here. There we go. That'll work. Okay. Rest your hands on your belly to start. This is about the exhale. Okay, so on the exhale, the front of the hips gently rises, very gently rises, and the base of the ribs go down. The base of the ribs. So you can touch the base of your ribs in the front. They're going to go down as the belly muscles go back. This will cause the low back to expand slightly. So let's try that a couple times. So we exhale. Can you feel that low back expands? Front ribs come down. And then release. Okay, so only the effort on the exhale. Here we go. Feel the whole abdomen go back and then release. Whole abdomen goes back and then release. So that's happening as the breath happens. Okay, so on the exhale, you with effort, squeeze the belly muscles in, and then when you relax, the inhale should happen with passively. Okay, so the air comes back in just by the releasing of your abdominal effort. Let's try it a few times, see if you can get it. Linking that action with your breathing. Here we go. Exhale, squeeze. Passive inhale, relax. Exhale, effort, squeeze. Passive inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Passive inhale. Exhale, squeeze. I'm gonna say expel. You're expelling all the air out. Inhale, passive. Exhale, expel. Release to inhale. Couple more. Expel the exhale. If you've had some demons in your life, we're gonna say expunge. Release the inhale. Expunge the exhale. Expunge the demons. Release to inhale. Expel the exhale. Release to inhale. Expel the exhale. With effort on the exhale. Keep working at it. Passive inhale. Expel. Release. Expel. Release. Expel. Release. Expel. Keep working at it. Release. Last one, expel. You're going to hold a breath or two. Release to normal breathing. Feel the effects of the pranayama. That breath is called Kapalabhati. It's a slow variation of Kapalabhati. Good. Please come out of the pose. You're going to cross your ankles and sit back. Extend the legs out. And then lie back on the mat. You bring your knees to your chest and just let the thighs fall towards the belly. Go ahead and place the left ankle on the top of the right knee, and you can hold behind the right knee, gently letting the weight of the hands pull into a thigh stretch. It's called thread the needle. Nice and slow, gently switch your sides. Thread the other needle. Place the feet flat on the floor. Walk your feet almost as wide as your yoga mat or as wide as your yoga mat. So you're near the edges of your mat and let the knees come back together. So the knees fall together, but the feet are wide apart, flat on the mat. Try to relax your belly muscles so your low back is still resting on the mat. It will want to sort of arch off of the mat. Go ahead, separate the knees, and it's called windshield wipers. Just drop both knees over to your right. The feet don't move. Bring the knees back up, feet back to flat on the floor, and then drop the knees, windshield wiper them over to the right. One more time, just windshield wiper over to your right, or just your first side. Sorry if I got the sides mixed up. Then windshield wiper over to the second side. Good. Come back up to center. With your feet flat on the floor, you're going to take your arms back into the cactus shape. Back into the cactus shape. So your back of your hand is on the mat, your elbows, extend your elbows straight out from your shoulders. Listen carefully. You're going to push with your feet down into the earth. Keep your hips on the mat for this one. Push your feet down to the earth so it slides your shoulder blades down your back. So the back of your skull is still on the mat. It's like the neck was getting a little longer. You're just pushing to slide the shoulder blades down the back. It's like your neck was getting a little longer. Good. Once you've got that, just sort of relax the effort, but keep your shoulder blades sort of dropped down away from your ears. Yeah, and just slide your legs out nice and long. Try to keep those shoulder blades moving down away from the ears. It should be already in that shape. And then let your arms come down by your sides. Take a moment to just push out through your heels. And then push out through the ball or toe. And find that happy medium where your spine just sort of rests in what feels good to you. Shavasana, rest your body. Stretch your body. And press up to a comfortable seat. Thank you for practicing. Namaste.